Welcome. Welcome to Colli Talks, transformative conversation. And oh my goodness, this could not be a better day, time, or topic. I am in such a mood. I have had so many challenges in the last couple of weeks with Zoom. And unfortunately, I had an amazing interview with Shavasti last week and was to actually give this to you tonight, but I can't because Zoom blew it. Anyway, I'm hoping that this will be rectified and Shavasti will, with his kindness and his beauty and compassion, come back and do another interview with us. Yeah. So, anyway, I am here and I am here to talk about what I talked about when I sent out a YouTube just a snippet about slaving for love. I was looking through my old archives today and I found a handwritten sheet that I wrote years ago. I mean, we're talking years ago when I was specialized kinesiologist in Vancouver at the specialized kinesiologist clinic, trained by the top, amazing Steve Harris. I mean, he is the one who created all of this. And yeah. So I wrote all this and it is fascinating because it maps out the very thing I see my clients struggling with every single day. Still, not my clients from before, but still it's an ongoing theme. The hidden unconscious mechanisms of self-sabotage. In this note, I mapped out the conflict of being a role model for both yin and yang. For example, the too responsible mother, right? Who does everything. And the too irresponsible father, eh, who does really nothing except maybe go to work once in a while. Now, when you are a model for both, you become a house divided. You might spend your day being the workaholic, whether you're a male or female, to prove your worth, right? Only to crash at night into behaviors that are completely self destructive. Porn, shopaholic, online, drinking, smoking, drugs. Who knows? But it's self destructive. I wrote something on this page that really hit me hard today. Family love, friendship love, romantic love, myself love, life love, God love. It all equals slaving for love. You see, we think we are pursuing purpose, but actually we are just performing for approval. We are in bondage to a belief system that acts like a ball and chain. Let me kind of give you an example here. In utero, okay, your mom, while you were in utero, I'm speaking about here, your mom may not have had a definitive purpose other than I'm pregnant, survival. I have to take care of, my baby. Who knows what was going on at home? She may not have had an outside purpose, and that's okay. Some women don't. That's fine. But your purpose now becomes through her belief system, which has you in bondage. So you have become a slave to your mom, who was a slave to her mom, and possibly a slave to her mom's mom, which in fact is a slave to their husbands. Yeah, that's the way it works. So this slaving for love, right? We think we are pursuing purpose, but actually We are just performing for approval, to be approved of, to be loved, to belong, to have somewhere to belong. But actually, we are in bondage to that belief system that acts like a ball and chain. And that ball and chain, right, is exactly that. It's a belief system. It keeps you tied, slaving for love. Whether your master then is, your husband, if you're a woman, your wife, if you're a man, your children, dysfunction, dysfunctional love that makes you a slave. And the only thing is that true love is the only thing that sets you free. So if your subconscious goal is slaving for love, which is very possible because the subconscious is so beautiful, it just wants what's familiar and it just wants you to be safe, right? So if your subconscious goal is slaving for love to satisfy the needs of those who came before you will inevitably get sick and tired of it. And you can actually get sick physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. People get sick. They, chronic fatigue, they get cancer. I mean, this all happens. Oh, yeah, it does. I know because I ended up with chronic fatigue for slaving for love. So that's a whole nother story. But it happened. And I was in Toronto at the time. And then I had to move to Florida. And, I had to actually go there to be away from my partner. And when I was there on oxygen with chronic fatigue and given only 6 months to live, it was then that I came to this because of the fact I actually sat with the issue. I got to the tissue, which is, the issue which is in the tissue. And I got to do that through times when I would sit there with no way, we're talking then, no computer, no iPhone, no podcasts, no interference, no TV, anything. Just sit there 26 minutes and work with this. And that's the only way you can do it, is to work through it because you can't go through it. You have to work through it. You can't run from it because it'll catch up to you in some way or another, right? So we are in bondage to a belief system that acts like that ball and chain. And like I said before, if your subconscious goal is slaving for love, which mine was, to satisfy the needs of those who came before you, well, which means before me, which I was, then inevitably I got sick and tired, right? And so I didn't get free until I did. And that meant just dropping out, pushing away my partner, my family and my friends and my spirit. But then I had to come home to my spirit because without my spirit, who would I be? So I noted this belief system, like I say, often starts in utero. And I explained that. So you aren't just sabotaging yourself, you are reenacting a pattern you inherited. And that's where I said before, if your mother was a slave to her mother, and her mother a slave to her mother's mother, and to the husband, then you are simply continuing a chain of hidden loyalty. You aren't living your purpose. You are living a role model's purpose. We spend so much of our lives looking outward, trying to fulfill roles that weren't even ours to begin with. But the truth is, and there is a truth, and remember what I said before, and the truth sets you free, right? Your purpose is not a task to be performed or a debt to be paid. I love, there's a song, you know, called Wildflower. It's about a debt, right? Carrying a debt that isn't even ours to carry. Your purpose is you. Healing is very simple. It is only we who make it complicated. It is the courage to return to yourself, to stay curious, to stay childlike about who you are underneath those old loyalties. and to simply be with that person. When you stop slaving for love and start returning to yourself, you don't just find freedom, you finally find you and your life. And that is where the work truly begins. And there's so much more to explore and so much more to investigate. And there's so much more joy to be had. So, my friends, stay true to yourself because in the end, you're truly the only one that you have. So, for now, I'm going to say good afternoon, good morning, good night, good weekend, good Monday, good Sunday, whatever it is for you, right? And just know I'm here for you. It's Colli, Dr. Colli Christanti, and I'm sending you so much love and soul hugs. So, bye for now.